much time left. There's a lot of things heating up around the world right now, and I don't need to go into that right now because there's a lot of people sharing what's going on around the world. What I want to share with you today is another important thing to keep in mind. As things are heating up, you need to think about control. Being in control and how. There's a lot of things that you need to make sure that you're aware of, that you keep in mind as things get worse and if things get really bad. We're going to go over a few of those things, and I'm going to let you know what your mind does when that emergency happens at the end. Welcome back to all the subs. Thank you for all your awesome comments. If you're brand new here, we give you guys weekly tips, how-to, survival tips, what you need to know how to do, and what to have on hand. Be sure to hit that notification bell if you want to stay up to date every single week. Let's get into this. We're going to go through some things today that you guys need to have at the top of your mind. Things that you need to be thinking about, things that you need to be working on. It's going to be important for you and your family for you to be in control when things get worse. Because when SHTF happens, either you're in control or they're in control. And a major thing that you need to keep out of the system is fear. Fear is going to cause problems. It's going to complicate things. Being in control is going to help keep that fear level down. A lot of it has to do with emergency planning. You need to know what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, where you're going to go and how you're going to get there. That comes down to planning. You have to put time and thought into this and dial this down. You need to make a list of all your preps. What do you have? What do you not have? You need to take inventory. You need to fill all the holes. Figure out where all your holes are. Continue prepping and continue making a list. As you form this plan, you need to make sure your whole family knows the plan. Where you're going to meet, what you're going to do, where they're going to find a message from you if things happen and you're not home. Do you even have a checklist yet? Make sure you have a checklist and go through it now. Food, water, medicine, vitamins, clothing, shoes, all your pet needs, communications. What kind of comms do you have? Have literature, preferably books, written down things that you can resource for if you don't have internet. Because if things get bad, you're not going to be able to Google it. You need to have literature on how to handle certain emergencies that you don't already know how to handle, whether it be first aid procedures, how to trap animals, forage for food. There are lots of survival books out there and literature that you can have ready to go. You need to have a way to continue to learn. Gas, propane, fuel sources, heating, lighting, fuel for everything you could possibly need. Have a source of fuel for all of that. Do you have your emergency documents ready? Do you have a file with a bunch of important stuff in it? Do you have photos that you would want to have? It's going to be super important for you to have that information ready to go on hand just in case you need to go somewhere. Make sure you inform your family and friends of your mindset, why you think you need to prepare. Share some of these videos that are sharing to the world what's going on right now. A lot of people are sleepwalking. A lot of people just don't even want to open an eye to this because they feel so unprepared. They rather close their eyes to all of this craziness, and then when the crap hits the fan, it's going to be chaos, panic. So do what you can to share what you know with people that you love. Don't expect them to listen. You're already part of the club. We all have people that we've shared stuff with. We all have family and friends that think we're crazy for being an emergency preparedness type of person. But being ready is going to give you a better sense of control over your mind and the situation. Put a little bit of thought into your security system situation. Do you have cameras? Do you have motion lights? Do you have gates? Do you have items to protect yourself and your family? Alarm systems. Think about security and what you want to do for that. Do not tell people how prepared you are. Otherwise, they're going to be knocking on your door. You're prepping for you and your family. It's going to be hard enough for you to do that alone. So inform people, share with people, yes, but letting people know how prepared you are, not good. As sad as that is, that's just the way it goes. When it comes down to an emergency, you're going to go into a fight or flight mode. Some people call it keeping your emotions in check. But really what happens in an emergency situation like that is you get hijacked from your amygdala. An amygdala hijack. It's a fight or flight reaction. It's a mechanism that happens. It's a fight or flight mechanism. It doesn't allow you to think rationally necessarily. So when your body senses an emergency, senses a fight, blood rushes to your muscles. You get tensed up. So now you only have about 9 pints of blood in your entire body. And when it's all run into your muscles, where do you think it's leaving from? Well, some of it's leaving from your brain. And you need that blood up there to rationalize, to think clearly. And I'm going to give you some tips here in a minute on how to help get you in front of this amygdala hijack when the crap hits the fan. Now, I know most people have experienced this. You get cut off in traffic, you get angry, you get mad, someone says something threatening to you, and you get defensive, and you get angry fast. You act irrational. That's part of the fight. Your mind does not know the difference between a physical attack and a verbal attack. It's the same process. Blood rushes to your muscles, you get ready to fight or flight. It's one or the other. Rational thought is now nearly out of the question. That's why sometimes in videos it's captured of somebody just going off the handle. Later on, when someone watches themselves on film acting in that manner, they can't believe their eyes that they acted that way. That's what's going on. It's an amygdala hijack. You've been hijacked. So being a prepper or being an emergency survivalist type of person, you need to know what kind of triggers you have. What sets you off? What makes you scared? What has made you scared in the past? So when things do get worse, so that when there's a day that you have to stand in a line to get a food voucher or to get into a store because they're only allowing a certain amount of people, and in there a fight breaks out or something worse, something much bigger happens that scares you into this fight or flight situation. Know your body, know your mind, know what sets you off so you can create a plan on how to get in front of it before it takes over. I've heard it before with people that get in arguments to say a phrase when they know that they're about ready to get set off. From one person I heard, his trigger words were, interesting. How interesting. So when someone said something that knocked on his emotions and he wanted to react in anger, his trigger words were, how interesting. Just saying those words out loud helped him calm down and rationalize before he loses control. Another thing that's known to help is to have a story in your head. Start talking yourself through it, rationalizing in your mind, having a conversation with yourself, or praying. Either one can help. It's getting your mind in another place and out of the way of the hijack. You have to find a way to get in front of it. Taking deep breaths or having a phrase that you say out loud often helps. And more so in the prepping world is being ready. Identifying all these areas that you need to be on top of and being on top of them before the crap hits the fan. There's a big difference between being loaded when something goes down and having to load with very limited time. It causes panic. It causes the amygdala hijack. Please share this video with people if you found it helpful. Share other videos that we have on our channel or other people's channel to get the word out, to help people realize they need to get ready and they need to get ready now. We'll see you guys on the next one.